The best upcoming action games slated to launch in 2018. 2018 is quickly approaching, and with it will come a slew of new video game titles to look forward to playing. With that said, now's a good time to start marking down what video games to keep an eye on when they officially launch next year. Let us lend a hand. In this list, in particular, we're going over the top action video games launching in 2018. Find more upcoming video game lists on GameRanks. Far Cry 5 developer Ubisoft Montreal publisher Ubisoft release February 27, 2018 platforms PS4, XBO, PC the 11th installment but the 5th main title within the franchise. Far Cry 5 will be seeing a release in 2018. The video game takes place within the United States of America this time around, though more specifically, in a fictional Hope County, Montana. Within the narrative, Far Cry 5 pins players against Joseph Seed, a leader of a cult who has forced his way into controlling Hope County. As more innocent civilians become trapped and forced into submission under Joseph Seed's rule, only a handful of resistance stands between Seed and his reign. Just as before, players can expect the title to deliver as a first-person shooter in an open-world environment to explore either on foot or through vehicles. Days Gone developer Cybe and studio publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment platforms PS4 release 2018. Days Gone is an upcoming action-adventure title surrounding a post-apocalyptic world setting. Players take on the role of a man named Deacon St. John, who was once a former bounty hunter. Now that the world has gone awry and a global pandemic has killed off nearly all humanity, Deacon St. John will have to use his bounty hunter skills to survive in a world full of insane gangs and zombie-like creatures. This will be an open-world video game where developers have stated that the players within the game can complete various tasks multiple different ways. As it stands right now, Days Gone does not have a specific release date attached to the title just yet, but it's expected to launch at some point this coming year, 2018. Crackdown 3 developer Reagent Games publisher Microsoft Studios platforms PC, XB1 release 2018. Nearly a decade after the release of Crackdown 2, Reagent Games is bringing out the third installment, Crackdown 3. The video game doesn't have too many details available quite yet, though we do know that there is a big emphasis on destruction. Players will be able to destroy practically anything within the video game thanks to a Microsoft cloud computing platform known as Microsoft Azure. State of Decay 2 developer Undead Labs publisher Microsoft Studios platforms PC, XB1 release date 2018. There are not too many details released for State of Decay 2 as of right now. We do know that this video game is a sequel to the 2013 State of Decay and will focus heavily on cooperative gameplay with up to 3 other players. Overall, State of Decay 2 is a zombie survival game that lets players have their own unique story. While battling zombies is very much a key aspect of the upcoming title release, players are encouraged to work together in setting up their own community that's able to successfully take out the undead threat. Anthem developer BioWare publisher Electronic Arts platforms PC, PS4, XBO release 2018. The upcoming Anthem video game will be a third-person shooter much like BioWare's past video game franchise, Mass Effect. In order for players to traverse the world, the use of an exosuit will be required, which are known as javelins within the video game. These javelins will give players new powers and abilities such as the flight to soar through the open air or propel them through the depths of an ocean. So far what we know about Anthem is that players will be taking the role of a freelancer who finds work by protecting civilians by exploring the dangerous landscapes outside of the safe zones. Likewise, we know that the game will feature some cooperative multiplayer elements, but there have been no fine details on the matter quite yet. God of War developer Santa Monica studio publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment platforms PS4 release 2018. What can we say about God of War that you probably are not already fully aware of? The video game franchise got its start back in the days of the PlayStation 2 and is still going strong today. However, this upcoming title, in particular, is more of a soft reboot to the franchise. If you're familiar with the past installments, this time around Kratos has ended his time with the Greek mythology and has moved on to Norse mythology. Likewise, Kratos will not be alone anymore as he will be looking over his son named Atreus, preparing him for the real world after the recent passing of his mother. Adding a son to the mix and an older Kratos will certainly change some aspects that we're familiar with in the God of War franchise. Kratos will have to control his rage while he teaches his son vital life lessons. God of War is slated to launch at some point early next year, 2018, for the PlayStation 4 platform. Metro Exodus developer 4A Games publisher Deep Silver Platforms PC, PS4, XBO released 2018 based on Dmitry Glukhovsky's novels. Developers 4A Games is bringing out the third installments to the Metro video game series, Metro Exodus. This first-person shooter takes place in the not-so-distant future, 2036, but in a post-apocalyptic Earth which was devastated by a nuclear war that took place decades earlier. If you enjoyed the past installments, Metro Exodus will follow the events of Metro Last Light. More specifically, the video game will follow the redemption ending with players assuming the role of a young Artyom that flees Metro in Moscow in a journey with Spartan Rangers. With development of the video game title starting back in 2014, 4A Games does not have a specific release date announced quite yet, but it's slated to launch within the 2018 calendar year. Dauntless developer Phoenix Labs publisher Phoenix Labs Platforms PC released 2018. If you're looking for a free-to-play MMORPG experience, then Dauntless from developers Phoenix Labs may be well worth looking into. This is an upcoming fantasy-based video game which features players becoming slayers, humans who are tasked in taking down behemoths around the world, which are giant dinosaur-like animals. With the game being a free-to-play online title, players can choose to enjoy a cooperative gameplay experience with friends, or they can go through the video game narrative by themselves as a single-player video game. System Shock developer Night Dive Studios publisher Night Dive Studios Platforms PC, PS4, XBO released 2018. If you enjoyed System Shock back when it first released in 1994, next year, 2018, players will be given the chance to once again enjoy the System Shock journey through a remake. The video game is being developed by Night Dive Studios, which will retell the narrative journey of a nameless hacker who gets swindled into working with the Trioptimum Corporation, a company the hacker previously attempted to hack and steal files from. As mentioned, System Shock originally released back in 1994, where it was praised by critics and was a commercial success, leading to a sequel to release under the development studios Looking Glass Studios and Irrational Games. We're interested in seeing just how well the remake will do in today's market. Death Stranding developer Kojima Productions publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment Platforms PS4 released 2018. After the brutal split between world-famed developer Hideo Kojima and his previous employer, Konami, the gaming world kept close tabs on just what Kojima would bring out next, if anything. Luckily, the developer is not interested in leaving the gaming industry just yet and has graced us with his own development studio known as Kojima Productions. The first video game title to release under the development studio will be Death Stranding, and if one thing is certain, no one knows just what to expect from the video game title. There's a ton of secrecy surrounding it, with trailers and teasers only adding fuel to the hype of this upcoming Hideo Kojima production. Perhaps the mysterious trailers and lack of information leading to the video game launch, alongside knowing that Hideo Kojima, a well-known and respected developer, is in control of this product, could be the source of why this video game is building up so much with fans around the world. More 2018 lists continued.